Hello.
Hey, everybody. Super excited. This is a big episode, a huge episode because we
Right.
are almost at a year and this is episode woo,
40.
40.
Hey.
40. Yes. And we are so super excited to be here tonight because not only is it episode 40, but this is a very important topic that I know that you all will get something from. We are so excited to bring this to you, and we want y'all to guess what it is, okay? Can y'all guess it? Hey! Hey! Y'all heard it.
That money.
Monet.
Money.
Yes. So we are super excited. We are starting a series this evening and we'll continue it. And it is called Mindset Strategies of Women 40 Plus. And today we want to talk about the money mindset for women 40 plus. So this episode, we will be diving into how women over 40 can shift their money mindset from scarcity and survival to abundance and legacy. That's what we are building, abundance and legacy.
And
No,
legacy.
we ain't scared. We ain't scared, okay? Many women in this season of life have become conditioned to play it safe financially. But now is the time to step into wealth and step into your confidence. We'll talk about breaking generational beliefs, embracing new opportunities, and building financial confidence so you can walk boldly into your next chapter. And if you don't have a pen and paper, baby, we suggest you get some because we're going to be dropping some gems to what? Tonight, we're going to drop
Nice.
some. Now, if this is resonate with you, let's drop some green in the comments. Some green, some money green. And a lot of people act like money is equal. We already know it's not, right? We know it's not. Y'all see we represent, baby. We got on our money outfits. We got on the green and the gold and all that kind of stuff, okay? Because we getting ready to talk about some wealth strategies and abundance and having more. And it's nothing wrong with having more. And we know in Generation X, we used to hear that money is evil. Mm-hmm. But we know it's not money that's evil. It's people that can be evil in the things they do with the money. Okay. So we want to get our mindset right and tight and be ready to be open to receive all the abundance that God has for us. He didn't put us here to be rich, to be poor. I'm sorry. He put us here to be rich in every area of our life.
Yes.
So, with that being said, the first thing that we're going to talk about is the scarcity trap after 40. And while we in this trap, why is it so many women that are 40 plus believing that they don't have enough time to build, believing that the wealth can't come, believing that it's too late, and thinking that they got to work till they in the 65, 70? I mean, why do you all think women feel this way?
The lack of understanding of what God has asked us to do where it concerns money, and understanding that you can't serve two gods. You can't serve God and serve money. There's principles involved in that. And once you learn those principles, then you learn that God will provide for you, but there's a principle to it. And over 40, um, we get in a cycle. Some people don't care about money, they just spend it. I used to spend, but now I've settled down and I understand the principles behind it. But um, there's a maintenance and a management that has to happen. And um, the principles, and I don't have time tonight to sit down and go through all the principles, but you're to serve God with your monies. You're supposed to give 10% to him of your monies. And once you do that and you stay obedient in what he's asking you to and not spend frivolously, then uh there's great gain in it. But if you're spending money unnecessarily and doing things that you're not supposed to with the money, then you have those problems.
Well, I love what you said, and the money principles is definitely something that we need to get into. Not tonight, but that may be a next
Next
week's
week, yeah.
thing because we have to talk about the money principles. And you said something that's very important about, people are trying to serve two gods. Well, people might not understand how they can be serving two gods. They feel like, I'm doing my thing with my money and I'm doing this and that, but they don't feel as though they're serving two gods. Can we expound on that?
Well, basically, my advice is to go to the Bible, read what he says about money. A lack of knowledge is not an excuse. The principle is the principle. And just happens we're talking about this and speaking about this on Thursday night. Well, that's what I've been reading on this whole week and trying to gain an understanding of just how God wants me to handle things. And until you get in line with the principles, you're going to still lack, or you're going to still stay stuck, and you're going to still live paycheck to paycheck.
Well, what about, and Gail, you can jump in anytime. What about the people who feel that they've done all the things and I used and I did right with my money and some things have happened with the economy and they don't have it right now and they feel like I'm just at the space where I'm lost. Did they serve the wrong gods? What happened with that? Or could have happened maybe.
Well, I think what it comes from is when people say they've done, what they should have done with their money. The so the challenge is they're functioning on the knowledge that they have. And just because that's what they know, that doesn't mean that that's what you're supposed to be doing, or that doesn't mean that there's not more for you to do. So with their level of understanding or whatever level of respect that they have for money, because money is a tool, then that's how they're going to function. So if you don't know and you're not trying to find out, you're going to continue to reap the same consequences in the same situations. And if you don't proximally get in a space where you know people who have money, because understand, a lot of people base a lot of value on what they see on social media, people who are pretending to have money and don't have a clue. And there are people following in those footsteps and following those trends instead of really getting that financial education on, what does their tool, which is their money, what can their tool do for them, and how can they get access to more money? It's not just about banking and saving your money. You need to get into diversified annuities. You need to diversify your portfolio. You need to start looking into the benefits of different life insurance policies. So if you don't have that education and you're saying, well, I did right by my money, you did right by what you know how to do, but that's not all that needs to be done. So if you want growth, you got to be persistent and committed to doing something different and picking up some different financial habits.
Yeah,
I
and
love
it's important too to have the right financial advisor, because
I love
Absolutely.
people are gaining financially by investing in whole life policies. Okay, and we
Mm-hmm.
talk about
Mm-hmm.
leaving inheritances and so forth. That's a great way to do it. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're and understanding that the base principle in a whole life policy, and it's just one thing that I'm throwing out there. You don't just pay the minimum per month, you'd have to pay that or double in order to
Mm-hmm.
gain in that way. And there's just so many ways that this could be explained, but that's another way you can make money.
Yes, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that um that's definitely so next week that's exactly what we'll go into the principles
Right.
and maybe the ways that you can make money because a lot of people don't understand um like Gail said that money is a tool. It is a tool. It is a resource. And many people make it their God. And so when they go to the job and they get their check, that's what I gotta have. And that's what whether that job is there or not, God is still there. And so he is our resource. We on this podcast believe in God. And so no matter what happens with the job or whatever might fall through, we know that God is going to come through because he supplies all of our needs. And when we understand that, we don't go back and forth and up and down and round and make money to God. And so even though people might not realize that they were doing it, like you said, serving two gods, because you don't realize really what money is. It's just a resource. It's just a tool. It's not your life. It's not the end all be all. I mean,
Right.
everybody wants more of it. Everybody, we need it.
Right.
But we have to understand, as Tammy said, the principles and not make it our God. We have to understand who God is, and we have to understand what money is. And one of the big issues with especially women 40 plus, we've had so many things and beliefs, like we said at the beginning. Y'all know what people say: money is the root of all evil. So, what messages about money have we picked up in this Generation X that we are still holding on to? Because a lot of us are still holding on to it. And we know the sayings, money don't grow on trees. Y'all think money falling out the sky and all of this stuff. And we know that that's not what it is. We heard it when we were younger. We know that, but a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. I love what Miss Ella says. It's what you do with it that qualifies who you are serving. Ooh.
Absolutely. Love
Yes, Miss
that.
Ella.
Love
Yes.
Miss
Yes.
Ella. Always come through. Come through, Miss Ella. Come through, girl. You know, and Renette, to speak to what you said, and you know, I want people to edify themselves and take a moment to actually understand what the word says. It says the love of money
Money.
is the root to all evil, not the
Yes.
money. So that ties into what Miss Ella is saying. What are you doing with your money? We're so used to doing so much for our money, we don't think about what is our money doing for us. We trade
Absolutely.
so much time for that dollar, but what is the dollar? What are those dollars doing for you? You're working so hard, you're doing so much for that money, but what are you making the money do for you?
Absolutely. We're chasing
Wow.
it instead of it chasing us. We
Wow.
have to we have to have the money attracted to us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We trying to
Mm-hmm.
chase when money should be chasing you down. And as Tammy
Right.
said this week, she has spent time in the Bible. And I know in the Bible it says, I will meditate on the word day and night, and whatever I do prospers. Psalms 1 and 3. So are
Yes.
we meditating on the word day and night? Wealth
Yes.
and riches are in my house because I fear you and delight greatly in your commandments. And that's Psalm 112, 1 through 3. We have to delight greatly in his commandments and know that wealth and riches are in our house. And stop saying, I'm broke. Stop saying it's hard. Everything I do. And a lot of times, the reason we are in the positions we're in because we spoke it into our lives.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
we didn't know better. Like I said, there are generational money beliefs that we have been stuck in and are still stuck in. A
Right.
lot of it is not gone. And you may think you're past it, but let the first thing happen and your money looking
Mm-hmm.
funny and your change feeling strange, then we go back to where we came from.
Yeah.
Every
But that,
time I turn around, I tell you,
well,
it's
Renette,
always something. Isn't that something people say?
they do. But Renette, what we have to understand too is, if we're following God's principles, we have to learn how to give. And it states you will receive. And
Mm-hmm.
that's in Luke 6:38 in the Bible. A lot of people are selfish with their money. Some people are selfish with their money, with their families, with their children. They want to hold on to what God has provided. But if they're not following the principles and doing what they're supposed to do, it's a fraud. And God looks at it as a fraud. And you can
And they
look and
tell you
read.
it's stealing. Like you said, it's not
Yes,
just fraud, it's
it's,
thievery.
it's
It's
still
thievery.
it's in Proverbs 31. It talks about that. So
Mhm.
when I'm not going to name any names, I know somebody's so money hungry that they lost their whole life. They lost everything, but they have all the money in the world right now, but they lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't following the principles. They have everything.
Money does not by itself, it does not bring happiness to so many
It
people.
doesn't.
I've had a lot of money and I've had no money. I've
Mm-hmm.
been happy with a lot of money, but I've been real sad too. I've
Yes.
been sad with no money, and I've
Mm-hmm.
been happy with no money. As Tammy said,
Exactly.
the principle of giving, and that's like she said, Luke 6:38. I give, and it is given to me, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running
Mm-hmm.
over. We
Mm-hmm.
we have to get into that space and place, and a lot of people hear that, and maybe they've tried it and they felt it hasn't worked for them, or maybe they grew up in a. I grew up Catholic. They don't talk about tithing in Catholic churches, so I came late to the game. I was 30 something years old before I switched from being a Catholic to non-denominational. And I started hearing about this tithing thing when I was going to the church earlier, because I used to visit my dad's church because he wasn't Catholic. And I heard the word. I kept thinking they were saying tithe instead of tithe. I didn't quite understand what
Right.
it was,
Right.
and really didn't pay attention to it because it didn't apply to me as what I thought, because I grew up Catholic. They didn't talk about that, but they always had lots of money in the Catholic church. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we don't know,
Right.
and we perish for a lack of knowledge. So when you do find out, it's like, yes, let me find out what's going on.
Right. And you know, the basic
Mhm.
principles of it is, and I've taught my kids this from young, and they tithe. Whatever they get, they give 10%. Somebody gives them $1, they tithe the 10%, the 10 cents.
Me
So they
too.
are consistent tithers. And that's another thing people have to understand. It's not just your paycheck. If someone gives you $300 for your birthday, $30 of that needs to go to tithing. Okay, it's the basic principle. Any money that hits your hand, 10% goes to the Lord. And uh, these principles make a difference, and I see that they make a difference because I'm doing it.
And then it's offering as well.
Right. So yes, even if you do something for someone, like in Walmart, I'll see an old lady, I'll pay for her groceries, do whatever, and I'm not saying that to, but I do it and I walk away. She's been blessed, and I've done what God has called me to do. So there are just different ways in which you can give money and
Mhm.
do things for people,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah.
And
And that's
people
true, Tam. That's true.
going
Because
to
there are a lot of people who don't uh, attend or didn't necessarily belong to a church or religious organization. I know personally there are people that just go in the community and give and sow into different programs. That's their way of giving. So, the how you as long as you are giving along with the principles of giving in and sowing into the kingdom, if you will, not necessarily because God don't need your money. I promise you, He
No.
don't.
He yes.
Not necessarily a specific church. And there are people that have issues with church.
Right.
Like we said, there are a lot of people that have money traumas, whether it's from church, whether it's from childhood, bad habits you saw your parents and other family members do. But if you are following those principles as as a basic as a human being and
Right.
just feeding into humanity, feeding the hungry, buying clothes for a mother and her kids. You see them at Target or wherever. Y'all don't say nothing to me about mentioning Target, okay? It's a store. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But so we're not boxing you in saying, oh, you got to go to this church and give your money to the Lord. The thing is, what we're sharing is there's a vast array of ways that
Yes.
you can give with respect to those biblical principles.
Right.
And when you give, see, because God will tell us what to do. We just don't like what He's telling us.
Element.
And that's the thing when you tune in and hone in on, okay, what are you doing with your money? Because of course everybody have life, we got bills, we have things to do and pay for. But when you start leaning in and trusting and going in faith, and you start sowing into a program, a church, or just people in general, the direction will come because you'll be becoming more focused on what the word is telling you to do and what God is telling you to do. So sometimes we'll get direction, just like with GPS. It'll tell you to turn this way, but you're gonna go straight because you think you found a shorter route and you end up having to go the long way
Anyway,
anyway.
anyway.
I know that personally because I do that sometimes, okay? But It's the same thing. When you
GPS.
get direction on what to do and you don't follow the direction, you can't get mad when you get lost. You can't get mad when your money is always slipping away from you. So, lack and stagnancy is not your portion, but how do you lock into what to do and take direction on what to do with your money? Make sure you are talking to the right people, financial advisors. There's people in do financial education, not your neighbor because she drive a Lexus and she got a big house, but when you go in there, she don't have no food in the refrigerator and the lights and the water off. Okay, not that. We talking about the people who can give you clear instructions and advice on what to do to make your money work for you.
Well,
And
let me add.
Gail
Let me
just
add.
go on,
Let
I
me
mean,
go ahead. What happened?
I was just saying, Gail just talked about the GPS, and GPS is a good word because that means God
Right.
provided system, and God has provided systems for us to be able to do this. And I know some people might be thinking, okay, well, they're giving us a lesson on tithing. It's not just about tithing, but
Not just about
that's
that.
one of the ways to help you see your money change, to help you see your money grow. And so tonight we're specifically talking about mindset strategies of women 40 plus to help you to grow your money. And so as you start to see things tithe and it feels like, oh Lord, I'm losing out, I'm not winning. But yes, you will be winning because in the end, even though you might look like you lost some money, you know what? Your lights weren't turned off or this wasn't turned off. And God is an on-time God. And as long as you take care of God's business, I promise you, He will take care of your business. He never said the road will be easy. And if you have ever read through the Bible, there has been nobody in there that's had a perfect life without having obstacles because they're going to come. In life, we are promised three things. And number one is death. The number two is taxes, and then offenses. So we're gonna have those in life, but that don't mean that you're not gonna have money and things not gonna go right because things go wrong so that they can go right.
Mm.
Tell me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, basically, one thing I want to mention is that some of us have great talents, and God will give us an idea. And when He gives you that idea, He wants you to go and utilize it. When you're praying for more money or abundance, and He's provided you with an outlet, uh,
Mm-hmm.
He expects you to go and He's not giving it to you to fail. He already knows that it's going to work. That's why He
Mm-hmm.
gave it to you. And you'll have that covering under Him when you go and do it. So that's what's important. And I know this because that's the position I'm in right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
we're gonna definitely be talking about that as we go
Mm-hmm.
further along. So as Tammy was talking about gifts, we do have them. We have gifts, and they talk in the Bible about the people with the talents. I think they call it the parable of talents or whatever, and that's a really good story for you to read in the Bible. And so, as we talk about the talents and the gifts, we need to talk about abundance activation because a lot of times we do have these things that can bring us the abundance, but we're not activating the things we need to activate for it to happen. So, I want you tonight to think about the small shifts that you can make to step into the abundance, and that comes up under your talents. I know you might be thinking, oh my God, and sometimes we see the whole big picture and we get scared and we feel like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to move, I can't do this. And so the abundance that could come with it doesn't come because we think so big. And it's great to think big, but when you have big thoughts, we can break it down into smaller thoughts and think of those small steps. So if God gave you a talent and the dream is real big, that's great. Now, how can you break that down? What can you do? So as y'all are stepping in or have stepped into your talents, if you have done this thing, how did you take what small steps, what abundant steps did you take? How did you activate the abundance?
Well, as you know, when we first started Spicy Season Sisters, before we even we were on air, I was a nervous wreck. I was
Mm-hmm.
I I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be talking and speaking in front of people. But I said, you know what? God said it here, so I got to do it. So I did.
And
I
you did
stepped
it beautifully.
out, and thank you. And so I did it. But what has happened with that is he sparked some other things that are going on in my life as well. So don't be fearful. Fear is a sin, and he's not going to move you if you're sitting in that. You have to go out and do exactly what he's asked. And he did not say, Renette, I'm going to make you a seamstress or a designer. And he told you this, and you sit on it. He's already got plans for that for you. You know, you can be might be the next Vera Wayne or the next Perry Ellis or LL Bean, whoever's out there. But you know, we just got to jump into this stuff. Life is not promised. Tomorrow's not promised. Yeah.
It's not. And so we have to make those small steps. So as you're in the audience and you're thinking about that dream, that goal, that vision, what can you do now to start to move in abundance? Y'all can put it in the comments. We want to celebrate you and we want to let you know that you can. The small steps can turn into bigger steps. And so, yes, we got to move towards it. We can't just keep talking about it. We have got to be about it. And I was kind of busy today, but I really had planned on getting on this live and talking about somebody I was talking to. They were talking about being an entrepreneur, and they had this big dream. And somebody told them, "Why would you do that? That's silly." Well, we hear that often being an entrepreneur. I'm sure many people have heard that being an entrepreneur. Well, that if you're really going after your dream to be an entrepreneur, a business person, whatever it is you're trying to be, and that one person or the two people say something to you and you decide, oh, I'm not going to do it, that means you really didn't want it. That means your mindset is not thinking in the space and place of abundance, because one person should not be able to stop that dream, that goal, or that vision that God has given you. You have to decide whose report are you going to believe. And the
Exactly.
bottom line, it don't matter what they say. It's your vision. We already know that. We've heard it time after time. It's your vision. It's your dream. And I don't know why so many people try to make people responsible and hold everybody accountable for what they supposed to be doing. I hear so many people in my coaching days. I was waiting and I've been waiting for 3 months. Okay, go to the next person. Why are you still waiting on that person?
Right.
Why are you still waiting on that thing? There is more than one thing. There is more than one person. There are many more ideas and ways to
Several
get
avenues.
the
Yes.
vision, the goal, and the dream. But if we have a stale, stuck, and stagnant mindset, we're not moving in abundance. We're not. So I want to ask you, what is wrong with your ATM? Your attitude towards money. That's an ATM. Because if you really want your dream and you see this money that God says you can have, and you're sitting there, your attitude towards money needs to be great. Because God said you could have it. And you can. And Miss Ella says, sometimes we are afraid of change. Many, many, many times.
Yes,
We
Miss
are
Ellen.
afraid.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
And so many people will tell you, and y'all tell me, because I know y'all heard it, you can't have faith and fear at the same time.
Same time, you can't.
And people believe, I believe you can, because it's too many people that do stuff scared, but they're moving in faith. It's been many things that people have done scared. I know when I left the school system, I was scared as hell because I didn't know that I really could do this. I trusted what God said, but I didn't trust myself to really do what I thought I was going to do. So I called myself being on a faith walk, and I walked that faith, but I was fearful as hell. And I don't care what nobody say, you can move in faith and fear at the same time. People will say it over and over, but yes, you can. It's too many people that have done it, and they have made millions. They have changed lives. They have changed the world. If you talk to several people that have come on and done something, How many times have we done something, even if it's just coming on here? Like Tammy
Right.
said, we saw Tammy. She was scared.
Yeah.
She was
Mm-hmm.
like, Lord, I
Mm-hmm.
can't believe
She
I'm
was.
doing this. She was scared. But
Right.
how did
Yeah, she
she
was.
move? In faith, she showed up. And not only did she show up, she showed up and she showed up great. She showed up beautifully because she decided to move in fear and trust her faith. So I
Mm-hmm.
Right.
know people say that, but I don't believe it. I just don't. And I
Mm-hmm.
won't because it's been too
Well,
many
well,
times that I've
well,
moved in fear.
well, let's put it this way. If you're moving in the direction that God told you to move and it's faith and fear, you're okay. But if you're sitting in the fear and not moving, total different ball game.
Right.
Absolutely.
There's
Right.
two
Absolutely.
sides
And
of that. Go ahead, Gail.
mm-hmm. I was looking at what Quee said is that, we need to be afraid to be in the same place a year from now. And that's absolutely right. People get so
Yes,
conditioned to being in the same place, having the same complaints over and over again, because I think sometimes we like to sing the song, but we don't want to get up to change the record.
the record.
A lot of times we're so into a place of pretending that we have it all together and that money is not an issue. Nobody wants to admit that they are financially strapped or strained or struggling. And because there's such a pretentious nature behind money, and it's taboo if you don't have it right about money. People don't come forward to get the education, to
Hmm.
seek out the help they need to do things differently. Like Miss Ellis said, they're afraid of change. They're
Right,
afraid of change, afraid of admitting that they don't have it together or that their finances are in a shambles. It is the fact that you want more and you want to do better and you're willing to do better. Wanting
right,
more and doing more is two different things. You have to let go of all of the airs you've been putting on, all of that old stuff from your childhood, how you saw your auntie and your uncle used to hide money from each other, and all this stuff that we took in and we saw a constant growing up. And people have taken that as a way of life, and that's how it's supposed to be. Because it's still some our folk won't put their money in the bank, okay? So we
That's
have to
true.
step outside of what has been normal because that normalcy has you exactly where you're sitting right now today. There are so many tools and resources. And I just want to charge the Spicy Squad and the community, any of the followers and subscribers that are watching us, just think about the one thing that you wish you could do differently with your money, with that tool. What is the respect level that you have for money? Because some people have no respect for it. Money come in, it's a sure if it come in, it's gone.
Hot in your
So
hand.
what is your respect level with that money? And what is the one thing you wish you could do differently right now today with your money?
Yeah, that is very good. That's
beautiful,
very good. I had a
beautiful.
thought and it just ran out of my mind.
Wow.
Go ahead, Tammy. I'm gonna be thinking.
No, I was just saying that's beautiful the way she spoke. But some of us, and I have to say, when God told me to sell my Mercedes Benz SUV, I was like, what? And so, but I abided and I did what he told me to do. So, I don't drive a Mercedes anymore. I don't drive a BMW. I don't have that anymore. But I understand the principle behind what he was doing in my life and what I gained by being obedient. And it was a test. Are you going to be obedient and do what I asked you to do?
Mm-hmm.
And so I do. I step one, step two, step three. I don't jump over into step
Mm-hmm.
8, 9, 10 because you miss what's in the middle when he tells me to do something. I do it. And I don't have to drive. Some people think that if they get rid of their Mercedes, people are going to judge them and they're going to have something to say about them and they have to keep up this facade and all this stuff. And that is not how we're supposed to be living. We are misguided and we need to redirect our thoughts and the way in which we handle our lives.
And how people think
Yes,
about you, they ain't got no heaven or hell to put you in
Right.
at all. So
absolutely.
it doesn't matter. We need to stop concerning ourselves with with other people and what they got, what they
Exactly.
think, because them same people that got something to say, they got things going on themselves. And
Absolutely.
when you were talking before, I was gonna say you were talking about people being scared to do this, and people are always going to be scared. Who don't want to go to heaven? Everybody want to go to heaven, but who the heck wants to die?
Nobody want to die.
Nobody. It's a few people, but for the most part, people not trying to die, but they sure trying to get to heaven. And so, we have to learn to do things afraid, to do things scared, to show up no matter what. And that's really, really important. So we have to show up. And so as we move forward, one of the things that we need to do in order to move and show up, we have got to move in confidence. And not just confidence is a strategy, I believe. And it's also a strategy for money. We have to have confidence in what not confidence in the money, because that ain't where it's at. Confidence in how we handle that money, the connection between your money and your self-worth. Some people feel like they worthless because they broke. Some people feel like they the ish and they ain't got ish going on because they got money. And so you're letting money make you instead of you making the money. One thing about me, whether I have it or not, baby, I know I can make the money. I can lose this today, but I'm gonna sure get this tomorrow because I have confidence in God, first of all, and then myself. And so when we in the space to understand that money, if you let money make you, baby, you're gonna be easily broke down and tore down because money don't make you. As soon as you don't get nothing in your head. But you are more than your money. And so we have to set standards and understand that we deserve. Most people feel like they don't deserve money. They're not good enough to make it or they can't get it. And so that's why we have to have our ATM right, our attitude towards money. It has to be right. ATM attitude towards money. And so you need to understand that I am able to do anything and all things with money, and even if you don't have it. So what is a space or affirmation that you all say that really gets you hyped up and it's a big money affirmation for you? What do y'all say as you think about money affirmations and money mantras? And y'all put some in the comments. We want to hear them. I got some written down myself that I read quite often because I believe that these affirmations and money mantras, we have to speak over ourselves. We have to put it out there in the universe. And when we put it out there in the universe, God hears it and he knows that, we're being faithful stewards of whatever it is we are trying to do with the money. You got to tithe it. Okay. You don't hoard it and hold on to it. And I know that some people say, well, I just had to pay my mortgage. If it's a choice between your mortgage and your tithe, which one you paying?
Tithe.
You can't pay both. Because see, God gonna give you what you need. And even though your house may not be paid, God know you took care of his business. So guess what? He's gonna take care of your business. If you have somebody with cancer and that bill is real, real big, what you gonna do? You paying your tithe or you getting that medicine?
Tithe.
And a lot of people will sit and say, what Tammy's saying, tithe. I say tithe. Gail says tithe. And I really do that. But a lot of people are scared to do that. So as we start to say these money mantras and things, we will start to believe, we will start to know that God is going to take care of it. He's going to take care of it. And it may be the 11th hour, but he's going to take care of it. So I see we have, Quee says, money flows to me in increasing amounts on a continuous basis from multiple sources. Yes. Yes. We love it. Anybody else? I'm definitely gonna read some off that I think are great. Y'all jot these down, wake up and say them. And I truly believe that if we say them and we believe them and we do the work, it helps build our confidence in money. It really does. And a lot of times people think, oh, I've been doing this. Everybody get on and say, do this for money and do that for money. And y'all might be listening to people and y'all putting the faith in what the people said, but it's not about what the people said. And I talked about this the other day. A lot of times we struggle with manifestation and believing we can have because we're walking in what we see. We're walking in the natural. We're not walking in the eyes of God. We have to see it before we see it. We have to believe it before we see it. And that's the issue a lot of times because everything in this world right now looks like it's falling apart. It looks like hell has broke loose. But if you
Yes.
are the word of God and you heard what he's saying, you already know. It's just no way you can lose. You're going to always win. With God on your side and you following what he's telling you to do and walking in obedience and disciplining yourself, things ain't going to fall all out of sorts for you. They may, but they're going to come back together. God going to give you double for your trouble, triple for your ripple, and
Yeah.
things going to turn around.
Yeah.
And so we allow ourselves to get so caught up and mixed up. And that's one of the reasons we need to stop watching CNN, constantly negative news. Turn that news off.
Yes.
Turn that stuff off. There is always more than enough money in my life. I attract good fortune every single day. My attitude towards money, ATM, is positive and my expectations are high. Are your expectations high? From money coming from the north, south, east, and west, money in the mail, money in the Zelle, money on the phone, money in the email, money is everywhere coming to me because God said I can have it. I have money because I said so. I said so because God told me. And we've got to be grateful. And that's one of the things that's very important as well as you are trying to get your money mindset together. Are you grateful? Or are you complaining, comparing, competing? I think Tammy talked about that earlier. We have to have gratitude. We have to be open for those open and expecting those financial doors to happen. But when we're constantly complaining, you're repelling everything you're asking for. And I know I'm not gonna sit up and say this easy. It's hard when you're in a bad space. It really is. So let's admit that. It's hard, right? It's hard sometimes. But if we start, with God, it's easy. With God, it's easy. It's nothing my God can't do. What did the Bible say? He will supply all of our needs. Knock, and the door shall be open. Seek, and ye shall find. Ask, and it will be given.
Yeah. But let me
My money.
intervene here.
Go ahead.
Let me intervene here and let me everybody understand that God does not expect you to be perfect and you're going to make mistakes. But if you make the mistake and you correct it, that makes a difference in uh, um, it makes a difference in your game. Okay, because none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes, but understand that making the mistake and learning from it makes a big difference.
Yes, yes. We have some mantras here from Miss Ella. I am worthy of financial freedom and joy. Love it. Wealth is my birthright. Prosperity is my purpose. Yes. Wealth is my birthright. Prosperity is my purpose. I'm writing these down, baby, because
Go ahead, Miss Ella.
I know that's right. And I want to ask the spicy squad. And we have had guests here come on and bless us with so many gems. And I would like to take this opportunity. If you all want us to bring on a financial expert who can drop gems for you, email us. Our email is at the bottom of the screen, info@spicyseasonsisterspodcast.com. Let us know your thoughts. Tell us the things that we need help to provide in the community, the things that you're needing, the things that you're wanting to see and that you want to know. We are here to be of service. We are here because the Spicy Squad is here. And all of our efforts is to serve you all and to bring you the information and put you in front of the people that can help you. So what you want to see here coming on with us every week, email us, go to our Facebook page and leave us messages, reach out and let us know. We will do the work to get the people in the rooms, because we know you will show up and you'll be here to get the information.
Amen.
Yep, we ready to bring the topics. We got some good ones coming, but we don't want to just come up with all the topics. We want y'all to again give us, hey, we want to hear this, and if you love it and you get enjoying it, let other people know, because there's so many people that don't know about us and they missing out on all this good information. They need it. Somebody sitting home now crying, broke as a joke, wishing and hoping and not really believing in themselves. And they probably got a talent that they don't even believe they can really step into, because they don't understand that they can do it. I give myself permission to prosper and grow more. I have money to pay all my expenses, and I have plenty left over. Money flows to me every day from all directions and and comes from all directions easily and effortlessly. It's so many. I challenge you all to go and write yourself at least 50 money mantras. 50 money mantras. And it's several scriptures. If y'all want to know what they talk about most in the Bible, a lot of one of the top topics is what? Money. Because that's where a lot of people struggle in their area with money. And so we've got to be able to talk about it. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
And I mean, as long as you don't want to talk about it, you want to keep it locked up. Now we got to talk to the right people, of course. Because if you're not talking to the people that can help you, then half of the time what we do, let me tell y'all, this is what people do. And we too grown for this. So what we not going to do, let's talk about what we not going to do. What we not going to do is sit around and talk to people that's broke, busted, and disgusted and complain about it together and think we about to grow.
Mm-hmm.
We're not.
Right.
So if they ain't never experienced it, I had somebody telling me the other day about a house, but they ain't never had one. Baby, if you ain't had it, don't talk to me about it. A lot of people want to tell teachers what to do, how to do, when to do it, because they sat in a classroom 40 or 50, 11 years ago. But you ain't been no teacher. If you ain't been it, you can't talk about it. I promise you can't. So if you have not been in that space and place and you haven't had it, I truly don't believe. Now, maybe y'all think differently, but I think that if you have not had that home, because there's nothing like if you had a home, you don't know what it is to really own it. If you haven't been this police officer, we know it looks scary, but it ain't no easy job. Everybody can't do that. I can't talk about that. I ain't been that. So I believe that when we're speaking to people, we need to make sure those people are certified, qualified, and bona fide to speak into our life or the situation that we are speaking of. Don't get connected with people that's all struggling and suffering and going through stuff.
Right.
And talk to them. That's not going to help you.
Well, Renee, there's another principle that is important. If you're in a household with another person, and both of you are working, or one of you is working, it behooves you to get together and work out your financial state and talk about how you're going to spend your monies, but you do it together. So many people are against each other in the household, and they don't pay attention to that. And and if they have kids and stuff, those kids hear that, in my household, my kids being raised, we had a great money manager. So they learn how to manage money. So it makes a difference too in your household, how things are taught and how you work it out, how you maneuver through these things. So I wanted to bring that up as well.
I love it. I love it. And because you might be in a household where, and this is the one thing, and I know, and I felt really, really bad, but it was their decision. They were in a household where the wife believed in tithing, but the husband didn't. And if you in that space and place, don't ever let anybody make you get to the space and place where you feel you don't have to pay God, because you do. Whether that husband, that wife, that whoever you with, they don't want to do that part. That's okay. That's what they do, but that ain't what you have to do. You still can do your part, and you just pray for that person because you're gonna be convicted for what you didn't do. They're gonna be convicted too, but you got to work out your own salvation. And so that was a very good point, Tammy, that everybody don't have the households that's doing whatever. And I know that my children were raised in the church, and sometimes they go off and they get around different people. Then they come back and have for a minute. My son was like, "Well, I don't do Jesus." What? But then they found out who they were listening to. They were a little confused. And so, now, and they say train them up, in a way, and they're gonna come back to it. And of course, they came back to it because I raised my children to in church and to believe in God and Jesus. And even though we were raised Catholic, and my children started coming up that way, and as we moved to the non-denominational church, I mean, I was able to get some different principles and more grounded and understanding the Bible, and I taught that to my kids. And so even though one of them was kind of away from that, they understand that now. They tithe, they do, and they seen how every time I can pull myself out of a situation because I don't care what's going on. I'm gonna take care of God's business, and ain't nobody gonna stop me from it.
Right.
And that's just, but the Bible also says about being equally yoked.
Right. Well,
and so
there's a principle that you need to be paying attention to these things when you are dating somebody.
I was Joe, girl. We have the same page because I was just about to say. I was just about to say.
And if you are in a relationship where your husband doesn't agree with tithe and 10% and you do, always remember that you are covered in that relationship, that God will deal with your spouse the way he needs to deal with the spouse. So if your heart is saying, I want to tithe 10%, and he's saying no, and he's not following those biblical principles, God will deal with him. But what you're supposed to do is pray and continuously pray about it, not argue about it, and not feel strife about it. That is your job as the female in that relationship.
Absolutely. I know. I once I learned about the principles of tithing, and I had just kind of got into that space and place when I met my husband. So he was talking to me about it because I was Catholic. And so shortly after our marriage, and he had child support, we had all these bills going on, and he that he grew up in the church. He could tell you every Bible scripture and all of that. And he came to me and he was like, Renette, Rev, he been going through some things and he needs help with the light bill. And so he says, I'm going to be paying a light bill for the church. And I'm new into tithing, and I'm just getting the tithe. And he was already tithing. Now he want to pay the people light bill, and I was like, I felt some kind of way. I didn't know what, because you already got child support over here. We just trying to make it. Now you paying his light bill, but that was a little struggle for me. I was new to it, but he was the husband, so I let him be the husband. But I did say, well, we better not be missing nothing in our house. That's when I was real young in the, kind of this tithing thing. And what we didn't do was miss anything. And if anything, we were more blessed. And my husband continued to do that for years and years and years till the pastor died. And then they kind of moved on and got another pastor. But I know that it was such a blessing. And I'm glad I didn't argue with him, but I felt some kind of way like, he's just making it, and you got this big old child support bill over here. But so that's why we've got to get into spaces and places to try to learn, and that's why we got to get our money mindsets right, because when it's not right, ain't nothing gonna be right. So as we close, and we want to reframe our fear of moving differently with our money, how to invest more, how to earn more, and move from the place of how to win big with the money mindset, because we're
Right.
never too old. It's never too late. Age is a number and a mindset. So we need to have the practical steps that we can take, small steps of investment. So if this is one of the things I want to challenge everybody here that's hearing this, and even challenge your friends, because you got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you can put away $10, $20 every week or every pay period and don't touch it. It's not about the amount that you're putting in every week. It's about signaling the abundance that you're trying to get into your life. If it's $2 and that's all you can do, now you know what you can do. We don't know. We all know what we can do. And even if you can do more, try to do more. Try God and see if you can do that. And then after a month, okay, well, now you got 40. Challenge yourself to add a little more to that and keep going and going and going. So that's part of the homework that I think would be good. 5, 10, however much it is. Because y'all spend $10. We ain't trying to point out a call out, but we just being honest. How many people be at Starbucks or McDonald's or somewhere? Everybody wastes some money somewhere. Yeah, look. They go out to Starbucks, and a lot of people say, "Well, that's so stupid. That ain't gonna make no. That ain't gonna make or break me." But you never know.
Well,
You
yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
you
the
know what?
habit.
The change that I get when I spend $1, I put it in my wallet, and when I get home, I put it in my piggy bank.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
good. And
It's
that
added up.
and a lot of people don't even have piggy banks anymore, but we should have them. When I first met my husband, baby, I used to vacuum up pennies, throw them away. My husband said, "Oh, we're not doing that." And he got the big, them water jars that they have that people had, the little fountain. Baby, what we used to do, what he taught me to do, we used to put every piece of change in there. And then for Christmas, we divide that up, and it'd be a lot of money, and we give it to our children to shop to get whatever they want for us, or whoever, like their grandparents or whatever. So that's what we did. So we challenge you to do that. And
Yes.
then for the next 7 days, say this to yourself: I am worthy of every wealth opportunity, and it's flowing to me. I am worthy of every wealth opportunity that's flowing to me. And it's going to come. It's just going to come. We got to keep saying it. I'm worth every wealth opportunity that's flowing to me. It's flowing to you. And then the last thing I want to say before, and then Tammy, write down those things that you're not believing in that's causing you to be stale, stuck, and stagnant. Write those money things down that you grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need to tear them up. You need to tear them up and say, as I tear them up, I release these negative thoughts. It's done. It's gone.
It's over with.
In hell. And put it there.
Yes.
Tear them up. So that's 3 things that we need to do. Take an action step. Start with saving a little money every week. Starting now. Or when you get paid next time. Then we're going to say that affirmation: I'm worthy of every opportunity that's flowing to me, every wealth opportunity that is flowing to me. And then we're going to write down all our negative stuff that we need to get rid of, and we're going to let it go and be done.
Yes.
Because we got to take action, and that's how we move. It may sound small, but we know small things turn into big things. They really do. And it may sound crazy. When I started doing this stuff, I used to hear it and I used to be like, But then I said, okay, well, let me try. I bought one of them things that you can't open up and you could put the money in and have like the numbers and stuff. It works. Tammy?
Oh, no, I agree with it. But
You said, I thought you had something to say though.
No, I'm just saying I agree with everything you're saying. It's just people have to pay attention. That's it.
Pay attention and be intentional as
And
well.
pay attention. Yeah.
Gotta be intentional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You want to say anything before we close?
Just encourage everybody to embrace small changes to have a larger impact. When you start saving, like Tammy was saying and Renette was saying, take your change and put money aside every week or whenever you get paid bi-weekly or however it falls for you, and just start putting money away. It's starting a habit. You don't necessarily have to really have a target of what you're going to do with the money, but start the small habit. And when that money grows, then you can decide what to do with it. When I say what to do with it, no, you're not going to buy shoes and a purse and all of that because that's irrelevant. That's not practical. You didn't save
Right.
that money to squander it. Now you look into investing. You look into how you make that money work for you. But start the habit. Start small financial habits that'll have a large impact on your future because life can change for you if you just start doing that and create better habits for yourself.
That's true, Debbie.
Absolutely,
True.
absolutely. So, Spicy Squad, tonight we talked about money mindset strategies for women over 40, but this could also, we need to start sharing this stuff with our kids because a lot of times money has been a secret and we don't
Right.
talk to our children about it. We need to talk to our children. We need to talk to our grandchildren, and we need to talk to people that's our age that's still stuck and stagnant. And I know
Right.
a lot of you all that are on here, y'all are past a lot of this, or maybe you got something from it. So share it out, and we're
Yes.
gonna do these things. Do this homework. Write those money beliefs that's holding you back. Speak that affirmation and add you some more affirmations. Get yourself about 50 to 100 of them. And then I think we can give them a challenge this week. Like if they turn in 50 affirmations to us, we can do something for that. What y'all think? Y'all like that? Send it to the email. I know a lot of people say, well, I ain't got time to do all that, but we want more money. We want more money. We want
Yeah.
more wealth. We want more abundance. And it's not for us, it's for y'all.
Try it. Try it.
So
Do it.
let's send in. Can we put the address for the be willing to heal our money matters? Correct. Can we put the email address where they could send their 50 affirmations to that they've written down for money? And then we can start our wealth jar this week as well, whether it's $5, $10, whatever. Let's do that. Your next chapter is waiting on you. Your
Yes.
next chapter can be your best chapter. Go ahead and drop us some emojis if this has been good for you, if you plan on sharing it out. And it's time to walk in your abundance. It's your time, it's your turn. You deserve it. You deserve it. And abundance is already yours. It's just you tapping into it. Tap in,
Amen.
tap in.
Tap
Tap,
in.
tap in. Okay? We love y'all so much. We
Yes.
appreciate your support. We want y'all to share the word, to spread the word, to do all that. Okay? And we
Yeah.
cannot wait to see you next week when we talk about these money principles. That's our topic for next week. We already know we're gonna just talk about because everybody need to talk about money. I know we don't want to talk about it's funny. We don't want to talk about it, and we're not putting nobody out there to say what it is.
Right.
But we definitely need to talk about that because money be funny
Thank
and
you,
change.
Cece.
Yes, thank you, Cece. Woo, 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 woo. Love, love, love it. And we thank y'all again for everything. As we go off, and we guess y'all enjoyed it. Yay! Super excited.
Absolutely.
And we wanna
Thank you, Spicy Squad, for always showing up, showing out, and supporting. Please, tag your friends, invite them to the Spicy Season Sister Facebook page. Stay in touch, stay in tune. It's a pleasure to serve you all. So thank y'all for coming and showing up every single week. We love it. We love
every
you. Thank
single
you.
week they show up, and we getting ready to be out. Thank y'all so much. We love y'all.
Have a
And we
beautiful
shall
evening.
see y'all
Have a good
next
night.
week.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, good night, good night.